Hey, this is Dark Guardsman. We're back with another video. Now, testing has been going well on ICBM Classic. It's more or less ready for release, as I said. Still waiting on a couple more testers to go through and break everything. So I've yet to actually mark it as beta, especially since I didn't get a chance yesterday to finish off any of the recipes that I wanted to do. I did, however, early this morning finish most of them, so it is usable to some extent. There are still a few things left to do. I just realized sulfur doesn't have a recipe, and this is actually still a highly used component in the mod. Any of the defibrillation and chemical incendiaries and stuff do use it. It's not game breaking, so you can still play the mod, so I'm probably going to still go ahead and release this beta later today, but we'll try to get that recipe done on time. Now, what I did want to make this video for is I wanted to show off how we're going to actually end up dealing with getting your hands on things like copper. Now, I do not want to put ores in this mod because I still pretty much anticipate whoever's playing with ICBM Classic is going to install a larger mod like actual additions, industrial craft, thermal expansion, something like that with their actual game and mod pack in order when they're playing with ICBM. So right now copper is pretty much added in here just as a placeholder, so that way if you install it by itself you can still craft everything and get everything in there. And of course you can disable these by configs. I believe I did show that off at one point. Just for those who didn't see that video, if you go down to mod options and you scroll down to ICBM Classic here, hit configure, you'll find a tab called items down here. Of course, I still got to translate this, but you can enable and disable all this. Now, when you do this, you will have to restart the game to actually get these changes to take place. But you can disable the wires, the plates, the ingots, the crafting items as a whole. This will disable everything in the mod. And it actually does tell that in the tooltip, or it does require restart as well, so it does give dedicated circuits and batteries. I'll probably be putting a few other things in here as we go. I do plan to actually make some components to kind of help improve the cost efficiency of the recipes. Right now some of the recipes are a bit over the expensive side, simply because you don't really have a lot of components I've been able to play with. Now, the part where how we're going to deal with actual getting these items is I'm going to be using the loot table chest system. So if you go into a dungeon or a minecart system, and this is how the code looks right now. So it does support chests from abandoned minecarts and chests for simple dungeons. If you want anything else, there's other mods you can download that will let you customize loot tables to fit your needs. At the moment, these were the two easiest to pick because we don't really get a lot of options. If you actually go look at what options there are available, here's all the vanilla loot tables that are easily accessible. I believe you can also do stuff with the actual entities as well. I'll probably be adding some loot table stuff to the creeper here later. That's probably how I'm going to fix the sulfur and saltpeter, is just have them be dropped by creepers and witches and stuff. But right now we did pick a few of the simple ones. So we got dungeon and abandoned minecart. I decided not to do anything with the nether at the moment or these other ones because I really don't think you guys should be going to the nether to get resources. This way at least you can find surface accessible chests and stuff and get them. I do have a small little command here we can test this with. This is how I've been testing. I had to go Google this. You don't always get items of the type in here. As you can tell, I've been opening a few of these, and I've only found a couple that have had stuff in here. Right now, we can get elite circuits out of this one. And this one, I believe, popped up as an iron plate. The item drop is not quite perfect. I think I do need to spend some time balancing it. It could just be the RNG factor. The item drops are randomized, so even if you do get a chest that has these in it, it may start set up as one item simply because the value is set to a random value. And we can go and we can keep spawning this and spawning this, and we can see, probably if we get lucky, maybe some of the other stuff. So we got redstone in that one. I may have the loot value or loot weight a little too low. Okay, here we go. We got some gold wire in this one, iron plates, more stuff. I'm hoping to see a little higher drop rate out of some of these. So we got iron ingots in this one. I probably have to go actually hunt down where the iron ingots is. The weird thing is, like, when we actually do register the loot table, iron ingots doesn't show up in this. We got some other stuff in here. And of course I'm competing with other mods on actually what gets popped in here. So there we go. We finally got some copper in here. That's good. And just sit here and like spawn these for days. Probably could write some kind of statistical algorithm right here to figure out like if I need to adjust this or not. There we go, more elite advanced circuits. So at least it's working, so you'll be able to find these chests and dungeons and everything else. And for those who want to see the command in case it's flagged to buy too fast, I pulled this out of a forum here, and here's the forum post. Just really quickly look this up. It's simple command. Basically, we'll put this 2 blocks above me, so to grab my X, grab my Y +2, grab the Z, put it above me. It'll spawn a chest. and then it'll set the MBT data for loot table to this. So it's basically just setting that so that when that chest spawns, it spawns with the loot inside of it. Pretty simple command. Kind of nice that that does exist. That saves me so much time as a developer to actually do that. Here we go, got Elite Circus on the first try. At least we know you guys, if you guys are sitting here looking for items and stuff to build with ICBM, you're going to get a ton of gunpowder. I mean, I've got gunpowder almost in every one of these. There's some gunpowder, there's some more gunpowder, more gunpowder. And this is like highly used in some of the recipes because you have to, in order to get like stuff like this, so if you want to get a breaching charge, you have to use gunpowder, but if you want to actually get the condensed one, you have to use TNT in the recipe. So just to get 3 of these, you're effectively using about 25 gunpowder. So it's actually quite expensive when you think about it. So you'll have to be getting a lot of gunpowder. So it's good to see that these chests actually have some in here. That should help you guys actually get the recipes crafted. Outside of the loot table system, because that's what we're just going to do to solve the ores, the rest of the recipes are accessible. Like you got Antidote, which is actually just seeds. It'll do any vanilla seed, pretty much works. All the rest of the recipes are accessible via vanilla components. The only ones that aren't real easy to get are the ones that are copper based. So anything that uses copper right now does require you to actually find these loot tables, which is a decent amount of the stuff. So I'm definitely going to be trying to look at another way to get this, but hopefully you guys install some mod like thermal expansion, industrial craft and stuff to actually get your copper and you don't have to worry about where you're actually getting it from. Another thing is I'm probably going to change this recipe out here for the launcher to something other than copper. It doesn't really fit, especially since I changed out the other recipe here to use iron. So I'm probably going to change that one out to use iron. I know people are going to be like, oh, but iron's is a highly used item in a lot of recipes, so you usually don't have a lot of it. Hopefully you also install a tech mod that lets you get a huge duplication on your iron, so it's not that big of a deal. Everything else looks good, so we're probably going to release this to beta here later today. I'm going to be doing server testing at some point today. Might stream that, might not stream it, depends on how things work out. Still a little hectic on the schedule, hence why this wasn't released as beta yesterday, as the schedule got a little hectic and a lot of homework was not done until the last moment. Anyways, I'll see you guys with another video, and yeah.